Hey everybody, it's me, Josh Hope Paranormal. I'm bringing you another awesome, amazing, wild video. I kind of have to be quiet, the whole family's sleeping, and I was just reviewing this session that I just did a few days ago on the Leak Project with Rex. Most of you probably know it's a very popular podcast show on YouTube with a very large following. He asked me on Sunday to be on the show and to be able to use my spirit box and any other gear that I have to try and communicate with spirit on the show. Of course, I accepted the invite. I love to be able to do this in front of anybody, anywhere, anytime, with anything. It's all 100% real what I do, and I love any chance I can get to show that because it's amazing work. If anyone doesn't remember, Rex is the guy that had on Sheldon Moore, who's that awesome dude that did a lot of research on enlightenment, what the soul looks like. And so let me show you a clip of that real quick to remind you.
So a soul without corporeal form, your soul, it sits at the soul seat, it's stuck in the soul seat, and we never truly live enlightened lives until we know how to shift it. But there's some interesting things with digital photography. You're starting to see these orbs with these Buddhist Dharma wheels inside them. If you look at these Buddhist and Hindu Dharma, it's even in the Indian flag, these Dharma wheels are showing up in digital photography. And this is basically souls without bodies. So you're not in corporeal form.
So being on the show, he wanted to try and communicate with his stepfather who had passed, and he wanted to communicate with the Anunnaki god, Enki, and some others from ancient civilizations, and he wanted to ask about that. I have edited this session down to pretty much about 20 minutes worth with all the stuff that happens in it. If you would like to watch the full video, which I encourage you to do, please head over to the Leak Project after this. I will put a link in the description. You can see the hour-and-a-half video. Anything you want to see as far as the responses go will all be there. Nothing has changed. The only thing I ever do is just slow down responses so that you can hear them better. So let's check that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, how the heck are you? Rex Bear Leak Project. This is going to be a really exciting live broadcast. Now, I've got Joshua Lewis with us. Joshua Lewis is a paranormal investigator, and we're going to find out if we can communicate with the other side live with you. Is it possible, though, to speak with those that have passed to the other side? Are the dead still alive somewhere else? Reincarnation, is it real? Are we just blips in the universal machine? Or are we immortal beings, infinite, spiritual consciousness, experiencing physical existence? Which leads the question, where do we go after our physical death? Tonight's guest is Joshua Lewis, a paranormal investigator that uses different technologies to capture EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, that many believe is a form of communication with the deceased. Thank you so much for coming on the program. How the heck are you?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good, Rex. Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
It's an honor to have you here. We're going to do some live communications. And my father-in-law passed a few years ago, one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. We're going to see if we can maybe talk to him for a minute. And then also, we're going to go really deep with the, just guess, folks. Guess. Oh, yeah. The Anunnaki, Enki, Enlil, Anu, and Nana, maybe even Marduk. Well, buckle up. It's going to be intense.
So we'll try the app first, and we'll see what happens. Now, a lot of it won't be heard in real time. You will hear stuff in real time. We can do that. It is, but a lot of it I have to go back after it's done, and I have to go through the recording, and I have to review it and listen for the responses. I have to slow it down. I don't do any other altering. I just slow down some of the things I hear just to see if it's, if it's an intelligible, intelligent response. So we'll try this one first. We'll see what happens. You tell me if it's too. Okay.
What was that?
It's a voice, man.
Really?
Hello, hello. This is Josh. It's Rex with us.
Sound like it said, "What's up?"
In the review.
What's up? That's what I was going to say. What's up?
We'll find out in the review. Rex would like to ask some questions here in a few moments. Are you able to use this? Are you able to come through clear? I will focus. Is that Rex? These are just guesses to whatever I say at this point until I go back and listen.
That voice sounded like Lance, which is... Hi, what is your name, please?
Can you come through and tell us your name, whoever's on the box? We want to connect here in a few moments, actually, with Rex's wife's father who passed. So right off the bat, we're getting amazing responses that are pertaining to us. It almost sounds like everything that's coming through is a spirit speaking. Then we hear, "Serve me, Josh." Now, that doesn't feel like it's Jesus, or, it could be already someone coming through that he's going to be asking for, someone that I wouldn't normally ask for. I tell him that we won't hear this stuff until the review is done, and someone says, "Josh is right." I said, "Who is this? Tell us your name." And they said, "It's a new jockey, like someone that's on the box, like running the lines." I don't know if that's really pertaining to what we were talking about, but it happened to be timed right. That's very interesting. And then when we asked for Lance, Rex's stepfather, we hear, "I am the light." Well, we knew from just all the research, how many times I've heard it in sessions, as well as what Sheldon Moore was saying, that we are light. Will we be able to get him to come through? I hate when I talk over a response.
How are you? Are you happy? Wherever you are, whoever you are you feeling good? They say real good?
I don't know. That's why I gotta stop talking. And it's just, you gotta just say it quick and get out. You gotta just, you could just ask, for his name. We gotta call out to him, and at least an attempt. And now I will try to connect myself.
Sounded like he said, "Can you hear me?"
I know, it's like, I'm not. Okay. I can hear you guys. I know you can use it. So what is his name?
Lance.
Oh, Lance. Okay. So we're looking for, what's your wife's name?
Kristen.
Kristen. We're looking for Kristen's father, Lance. Normally we would have a last name, but I understand we're public here.
That's his laugh. That is totally his laugh, man. I am not. Wow.
So here we go. This is interesting. Rex asks, "How are you?" And so clearly the voice says righteous, which is pretty cool. Then we hear, "I brought Jesus." So someone is saying that they brought Jesus with them. The next thing that happens is, again, Rex is asking, and a response comes through so quickly that it sounds like a laugh. Now, Rex identifies this voice as Lance. At first, when you hear it, it's so quick, but then when I slow it down, you hear, I know Jesus.
Public here.
Oh my goodness, I'm tripping out. Oh my goodness. Wow. If I get a little emotional, man, I may turn my video.
That's energy, so that's good. Lance, Kristen's father, can Lance come through? Rex just heard your laugh, he feels like. It's like the hair standing up on my arm. All right, so I feel a charge.
Lance, if that is you, if you would please say something that would verify and make Kristen and myself feel.
Go ahead.
The laugh was far out.
Is that too loud? Whoever's coming through is coming through very strong and very loud. This is a connection between Kristen and her father, which the connection is love. That's what binds us. That's what is so strong. Some of his voice, I think I said some of his voice. Lance, can you come through the message for your daughter? I'm sure she misses you very much. Knowing that you're around. Knowing that she will see you again.
Where are you, Lance?
It's a great question.
So more interesting responses. The name Jesus, of course, comes up, which is like the third time we've heard that, which is a lot. That's normally not happening like that. Then we hear, I mention that love is what binds us, is what connects us through multiple realms. And they say, how does he know that? Like either they know that and wondering how I know it, or they don't know it and wondering how I even know it, period. We ask for verification from Lance for Kristen. He says, which I believe, she grabbed my head. That could be something that happened when he was dying, or something that was a moment between those two, father and daughter. I miss her, he says. But then something very interesting comes through. The response, it's dangerous here. And right after, then we'll add Jesus.
That sounded like a long response, man. I don't know who's saying that. We're going to try this next. Now I'm going to ask Lance to come through that as well. We'll see what happens. The connection through here, and when I go back and review, I'm going to use your video to do it because that's the only recording we have.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of connection.
So the name Enki comes through saying, Enki can hear this. Now I could sit here and share what I've briefly learned about him, but there's so many different texts and stories and tales about what he was. So I'm going to let you do your own research and make your own determination. But already something very significant is happening with someone that I really don't know much about.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of connection. I'd like to try the DR60 recorder and see if anything can come through there. I'm going to have Rex ask a question while I hold the recorder. So let's try that. All right, let's try that real quick here. All right, so I'm going to ask a question first, and then Rex will ask a question, okay? This question is for Lance, Kristen's father. Are you able to possibly use this recorder in any way? Can you say anything at all? Okay, thank you. All right, here we go.
This question is for Lance, Kristen's father. Are you able to possibly use this recorder in any way? Can you say anything at all? Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to play that again, Rex, real quick, okay? Because that's a lot, man. That's a lot of communication. So hold on. Can you hear that okay?
For Lance, Kristen,
Yes.
are you able to possibly use this recorder in any way? Can you say anything at all? Okay, thank you.
So I'll just tell you what I hear. I can't understand the sentence. It's a sentence. It's like a multi-sentence, statement. I hear father, I hear Kristen. And just so you know, the viewers know, when you see that little red light blinking, like right here, there's a little red light you'll see blinking. That's spirit talking. If that red light is solid, then they're not talking. Okay, here we go.
Are you happy and in a good place?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You might hear my cat eating some pellets outside the door. Sorry. Here we go.
Are you happy and in a good place? Okay, thank you so much.
I'm going to play it again one more time, okay? You could hear that. That's a lot of talking on there.
Are you happy and in a good place? Okay, thank you so much.
So here I'm using the DR60. It is definitely not as clear as the box is. When you get a box reply and it's really clear, it's undeniable. What is undeniable with the DR60 is that spirit is speaking on there. It's just not always that clear. At first I thought maybe this message, the first one, was something else, and upon days of reviewing it, which that's what it normally takes me to do, that I could hear something different. And I even heard some of it in real time as I mention it after. But I hear the box, your mother made an error, Kristen, the money. And that might mean something to Kristen, only that she would understand. But the next message is pretty freaking clear. And upon listening more and more, you can hear it. It's very simple. And again, I still think it's Lance talking about this beautiful thing. He says, when asking, how is he? How's he doing? He says, it started off excellent. I met a lady, Mary, Jesus Christ's mother. Absolutely astounding.
What did you hear?
I heard again father or mother or father. Like I heard like a other or mother or father. I don't know. I can't make out these sentences in real time. I used to get really obsessive over trying to hear it in real time. And if I heard something, I would judge it and be oh, it's saying this. And then I go back and I'd listen, and I would listen through my headphones. I'd listen through regular speakers to, kind of use different frequencies in a sense. And it may have not been saying that. Some of these are, out of every 4 or 5 I record, I only can make out maybe 2 with certainty, with saying I feel confident putting captions on it and showing the world in a sense, because again, any caption I put on this is my suggestion. It's a strong suggestion as to what I think it is. It's up to you to decide whether or not I've captioned it correctly or not, or, whatever. So what we do know for sure is that it is spirit. And when we get someone that can speak really clearly, it's amazing. Let's try this. I'm going to, instead of going with the app, let's go with the PSP7, because what's cool about this is that you can use this alone, clearly. But when you plug it into here, you're adding a little bit more of the noise canceling and the reverb. And so you're not getting all that, that static that comes through. You also, reverb feeds more. It's like vibrations. And those are waves, and so like they're able to, there's more sound for them to manipulate. So so let's see what happens. Let's try it.
The Anunnaki gods are the most, they've been talked about throughout cultures and histories for
ancient aliens, right?
Thousands of years now. But I've also read so many tablets that have talked about Enki and Inanna via Oxford translated Sumerian tablets. Why not? They know me anyway. We might as well. See, let's do this, folks. We're going to take this over the top. This is going to be beyond the next level. We're going to talk to Enki. We're going to talk to Enki right now, hopefully. And hopefully it's good.
Hello, hello. All right, Rex, go ahead and ask some questions.
Enki, did you really create the form of mankind now? Did you genetically manipulate the species? Did you make Adam?
Make a statement of who you're trying to contact.
I would like to contact Enki. I almost feel like they're going to find him. They're going to look for him right now. He's really busy.
Can you use this?
Enki, what's the best story that describes you? Please.
The best story that describes you. Let me try the app again. I'm sure we got. I thought I heard your name. Let's try the app real quick. Let's try the other device real quick. Let's see.
And while you're doing that, I just want to say, I think that's a good question because there's so many different stories about Enki. The ancient Sumerian tablets give different depictions of Enki, whether you read the translated versions from Oxford, there's other translations. Then some people think Enki is Lucifer. Some people think Enki is Satan. Some people think Enlil is Yahweh. There's all these different depictions. So it'd be neat to know really what the best story is that describes Enki. Is Enki Neptune? Is Enki the one of the Anunnaki that genetically manipulated the human being? I think we should know this kind of thing because there's so much information, but disinformation too.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I go right to Christ with my questions and things like that. So Jesus is my Lord and Savior and power, and I declare that in front of anyone. That's just how it is. But if we are free to communicate with what we need to, can you answer Rex's questions? He's respectful. He's respectfully asking. What was that?
Wow, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, right after I declared my love and dedication to Jesus Christ, which I think is very important. I do it in every session, I do it every day, but especially in a session like this where we are reaching out and trying to make contact with the deity that I would normally not try to reach. And you hear, I love you, Rex, and Enki's here. Was that him, Enki, saying I love you, Rex?
Can you answer Rex's questions? He's respectful. He's respectfully asking. What was that? Who is that? Who's that? Whoever just spoke, can you say who that was? Can you say who you are? Rex, ask another question, or just ask, Okay. Ask something else again.
What do you want for mankind?
Wow. What? What was that? Weird things happen, man. I have no idea. Sometimes I just don't know.
Would you say your name, please? Are you peaceful?
Oh yeah,
oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Here's that. Oh yes.
Man, there's some replies, dude. All right, well, we're gonna shut this down. We thank you, and we will review this so your messages were not left in vain. And we will hear you. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Well,
wow.
I got a lot to go over.
So after asking again who this was, you hear the response, "This I hear," in a lowly voice. That could be Enki. I don't know. People have said, why is he speaking English? Well, why is he going to speak Sumerian or anything else? I'm not going to understand it. Wouldn't a deity or a god of this power be able to change whatever language he wants to be able to communicate? I would think so. When Rex asks, what do you want for mankind? They say, you finding the view, like finding the path, finding the way to see. You will be called. How interesting. And finally, when Rex asks, are you peaceful? A very clear, oh yes, comes through. This was a really wild session. The energy was there, and I'm blown away. Each time, this box continues to produce amazing responses along with the DR60, but it also requires an intuitive connection, one I believe that Rex has as well. Guys, if you haven't already liked the video, please like it, subscribe to the channel. I'm so excited to be able to do this kind of work with other people on YouTube channels that have different followings, showing different people this kind of work, which I believe is so important and others need to continue to see it. There are always going to be those people out there you can't convince. There's always a catch, there's always a trick, and there's no way something like that could be coming through without it being faked. It's a pre-recorded message and all kinds of things. And yes, it's frustrating at times for someone like me that puts my life and all into this work. But I have to understand that some will just never get it, and I will never be able to fully prove it to all. But I will keep on trying as I stand behind my work. I love you all, thank you, and until next time, see you guys later.